Hi, welcome to Drawing Wild Washington. I'm your host, Jed Dunkerley, Associate Artist with the Burt Museum at the University of Washington in Seattle. In this program, we are going to be drawing life from the Alpine ecosystem. These are places at the highest elevations in Washington State, up in the mountains, like the Cascades and the Olympics. Lots of rocks and snow, not many trees, land of extremes. And in this episode, we'll be drawing a mammal, the black bear, and a bird, the common raven. Now, if you have not yet watched the introductory program of Drawing Wild Washington, please go back and do that first. It explains a little bit about what we're doing, how we're doing it, and why, and then come back to this one. Okay, let's get started. Okay, the black bear. You're gonna start with a big oval for the body, tilting slightly, so it's not exactly flat. It's a little bit like that. Okay, and if you want to break it down further, it's about 3 circles long. Okay, like peas in a pod. Okay, so there's your bare body. Now these things can weigh up to 500 pounds and be about 3 feet tall at the shoulder and 6 feet long. How tall are you at the shoulder? All right, I'm going to put a rectangle that's about half the height. So if I split that in half, it would be about there, and about a third as long, so about as long as one of these circles. Okay, another rectangle right up here, and that's going to be the neck of the bear. And then at the end of the neck, you're going to draw a circle that overlaps. That'll be the head. And then you're going to draw kind of a triangle down from the circle like that. And then you're going to cut the end of the triangle off because bears don't have beaks. Do they? All right, so that's going to be like the snout. And then I'll go ahead and draw some details for the face with this mouth right here. And it's just right along the bottom. And it goes from the tip to about where the circle starts. They eat pretty much everything. Berries, grubs, meat, human garbage. The eye is going to be a little tiny circle right where this triangle part hits the circle part, so right there. And then the ears come up. They're about half as tall as the head. I was surprised at how large the ears are. But then again, I never really looked at bear ears before. Have you? And they're just going to be little rectangles coming out right here. Right? So we've got that. And then the nose is going to be a little triangle at the end of the triangle. So like that. Okay? Triangle, circle, oval. Now, the legs. Okay, I'm going to draw right off the back of the body, about as tall as the body, a rectangle at an angle. And then in between there, I'm going to draw a triangle. This is called negative space. As a matter of fact, I'm going to draw it even wider because I'm going to make this bear kind of on the move. All right, so we got a triangle here, and we got 2 rectangles for the legs, like that, right? And then the front leg is going to come off right here, kind of where in the middle of the front circle of the body, and it's going to come back like that too. Okay, and then off the front leg, about halfway up, I'm going to draw like a square, then I'm going to draw an oval down. Then I'm going to draw an oval down here for the foot. I'm going to draw an oval for this foot. And then back here, I'm going to cut it off and draw an angled oval because its foot is kind of coming off the ground there. So you can kind of see his walk right there. Now these feet, these paws could be about 9 inches long, and they can have claws up to 4 inches long. So if you want to draw some claws in there, do it. 4-inch long claws. Dang. And with these legs, they can do a lot. The tail, incidentally, is only about 5 inches long, so like half as long as their paw. So I'm not even going to draw it because it's usually kind of tucked down anyway. They rarely go around with their tail up in the air. I'm going to go in and start drawing in with a dark line the stuff that we want to keep and giving it some furry texture. And I'll tell you a little bit more about bears as I do it. Okay, so these black bears live in many ecosystems. You might have even seen them down lower in the forests, but they have huge territories And sometimes that will take them up to mountain ridge tops, okay, which a lot of the animals that live down in the forest don't go up to. Okay, what else? They are very strong. They can flip over rocks that weigh up to 300 pounds with one of their arms. Just like, flip over a rock. How big of a rock can you flip over with your arm? They're really good swimmers. They can run up to 25 to 30 miles an hour. And they're smart and handy. They've been known to figure out how to undo door latches, get into dumpsters. If you've ever been to a park that have these weird trash cans that are hard to figure out how to open, those are so the bears can't do it. And they work on humans pretty well too. I've seen people struggling with bear-proof trash cans. The front of the nose is usually a little bit lighter color. So if you want to go in and start coloring in your bear and make it black, like the name suggests, go ahead and do it. But leave the snout a little bit lighter. Okay, so I'll put in a little bit of color in here. And there's two things going on here. We're making the bear darker, and then we're going to give it a little furry texture. So I'm just going to go into some pencil lines like this. I was telling you how smart these things are. They have been known to distinguish between different colors and shapes, which is, if you think about it, basically what I'm having you do right now. I'm not sure a bear could learn how to draw a bear, though. But you can. All right, so I'm making it a black bear, and you can go much darker than this if you want. But I'm putting in some lines, and then I'm smudging it around, and then I can put in this furry texture. I can overlay that on pretty much every part of the bear if I wanted to. But I'm going to move on and show you how to draw the crow. One last thing to tell you about bears. They do hibernate in the winter, as you might have heard, but their body temperature doesn't drop like other animals do. So if you disturb a hibernating bear in the winter, it can quickly wake up and make you regret it. So don't mess with hibernating bears. They're not as asleep as you think they are. All right, that's good enough for my bear. There you go. Okay, next up we're going to do the common raven, Corvus corax, great name. And these guys are about 2 feet long and weigh up to about 4.5 pounds. They're pretty big birds. I'm going to draw the body going this way, and it's going to be an oval at about a 45-degree angle. That's halfway between straight up and straight to the side. So I'm going to draw an oval about like that for the body. And head is going to be an oval about 1/4 of the size, and it's going to go kind of left to right. So it'll be like that. So smaller oval off to the side on the top. And the beaks are really cool. Their beaks are almost as long as the heads. And it's a triangle, but it's kind of flat on the bottom, and then it kind of curves on the top. So curve it a little bit on the top right there. And then the eye is going to be right here at the end of the beak. Okay, now I'm going to kind of blend the head into the body a little bit, like that, with a little bit darker line. And I'm going to draw a line down the beak to show where its mouth is. It comes in here, and then there's kind of a little angle right there, right? There's my crow head. All right. The tail is going to be a tapering rectangle down the back here. And what that means is it's going to get slightly closer together like that. So it's like a rectangle, but it gets smaller. So I guess it's not really a rectangle then, is it? And I'm going to draw some wing feathers coming out the top. And they're just kind of like some triangle, rectangles, real skinny lines like that. And these wings, when they're spread out, can be up to 4 feet wide. How wide are your wings? All right, legs are going to be right down here at the very bottom of the oval, and they're just going to do 2 little rectangles that stick straight down, so like that, like pairs of pants. And then I'm going to do the rest of the leg, the naked part, is going to go forward. So this has black feathers on it, and this is sort of scaly bird legs. Okay, like that. I'm going to make his tail a little bit longer. That doesn't look quite as long. And then 3 toes out the front, of which I am only going to draw a couple because we're doing it in side view. And then 1 toe backwards. So 3 toes forwards, 1 toe backwards. And that is pretty much it. Okay. This should not be bigger than the head. So if you're drawing the feet bigger than the head, then you're drawing the feet too big. Now I'm going to go in and darken in the crow and tell you a few more other things about them. They, like the black bear, are omnivorous. They eat just about anything they can get into their mouths. So watch out. They are also, like the bear, very intelligent. Unusually intelligent, some say, for their size. And they are good problem solvers. They're curious, they're devious, and they've been known to engage in play, which might not sound like a big deal, but not a lot of animals do that, especially not a lot of birds. They've even been seen making their own toys, which, I mean, it's only a twig or so that they play with, but hey, don't knock it till you try it. I used to have a lot of fun playing with twigs when I was a kid. Does that make me a raven? Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna draw a little scaly pattern on the feet. Other than that, I can pretty much color the whole thing in dark and then give it kind of a feathery pattern, feathery texture. And one last thing about ravens is they have been regarded historically by many, many, many tribes in the Northwest as special creatures, spiritual creatures, either tricksters or creators. There's lots and lots and lots of myths about ravens, and you should look those stories up because a lot of them are really cool and just might explain a few things. So I'm going to color it in pretty dark. And ravens are really shiny though, so you might want to leave a couple spots. Like I'll leave that right there, and that right there. It's like little shiny areas. Darken in my raven. There we go. All right. So that's it for now. Pull myself in the corner here so I can say goodbye. Hi. Thanks for watching the Burks Drawing Wild Washington. Until next time, don't forget, learning how to draw means learning how to see and learning how to think. So learn how to see the shapes within the shapes, think about how you put them together, and there's really nothing you can't draw. So until next time, thanks for watching. What's that? You want more? Well, why didn't you say so? We've got coloring book pages available for each one of the ecosystems we've done a program on, and we've got the entire mural available as a silk-screened poster for purchase on the website. So check out the links and get yourself some more ecosystem art. Bye!